Hello and welcome to Blush, the world's first wellness show that's actually entertaining. I'm Hiva and I quit law so I can help you look and feel your best. Together, we get into food, nutrition, all the latest wellness trends, but we also laugh, get silly, drop a few F-bombs, and go on a million tangents. So if that sounds like your vibe, we're about to be best friends. Hi, hello, cutie patootie. Welcome to another episode of Blush. I guess you've already heard all that in an intro. I have my journal here with me. This is the journal that I do my morning pages in, and I have some notes for this episode in here because the printer continues to be in no man's land. If you could only see what I'm looking at here, this room needs a fucking makeover. But there are obstacles in the way. And honestly, something people don't realize is lights are massive. They take up a lot of fucking space. Like, what are other people doing with their lights? Because I feel like I am lucky enough to live in a home where there is abundant space for New York City. And I don't know what the fuck to do with all these lights that are all over. Like, it's taking over. It's honestly, it's like a B&H store in here. It's like a certain section of Best Buy in this apartment. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we are having a pretty fucking nutty day. I have no blenders anymore. Okay. I have had two. I don't know if, okay. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you what happened to both blenders, but I'm mentally unwell. Also, I'm recording. I'm kind of pre-recording a little bit, not to break the fourth wall, because I'm going to Australia. So I feel like I worry that you're going to get different segments of this story on different platforms in a weird timeline. So I'll just be fully transparent that I am pre-recording this. Okay, so I think you might recall my Vitamix had an issue. I think it was weeks ago, maybe even a couple months ago at this point, where it was just like it caused like a power outage in New York City, basically. Everywhere I'd plug in my Vitamix, it would pop the fuse. It was like a whole shit show. So what I haven't mentioned is literally years ago, like I want to say in 2021, there was an incident where I noticed something seeping out of the blender cup, and literally Vitamix says, if this happens, like this is malfunctioned, you can't use it anymore. And I was like, I'm sure it's fine. Because that's the type of crazy ass bitch I am. Like I have two speeds. It's either so lackadaisical that it's like everyone's going to catch on fire because you are just not paying attention, or it's hyper vigilant to like a psychotic level, and there's no in between. As a human being, something I really struggle with is balance. That's probably why I get on this podcast, get on this fucking mic and talk about balance so much, because I'm talking to myself like, bitch, you got to find a little bit of balance. Anyways, I'm like, whatever, I'm sure it's fine. No. And then for the past, I don't know, maybe like year or so, every time I put the blender cup, so like not on the Vitamix motor base, but every time I put it down on a counter or something, there's wet black shit underneath. So again, that probably should have been a good cue. Like, maybe you shouldn't be using this. Like, what the fuck is all this black stuff coming out of the bottom? Like, probably not a good idea. And then there was that incident with a, power outage gate 2025 a few weeks ago. So we dealt with that. And by dealt with that, I mean, I just put it away. I didn't use it for a while. I do have a backup blender. It's not as good as my regular blender, but there's a blender, whatever. So I just started using the other blender. And then recently I've started playing with the Vitamix a tiny bit, not too much. And it's fine. Everything's been fine, but I've made a mental note that I probably need a new Vitamix soon. Anyway, fast forward to yesterday. I go to make a dressing, and I'm filming it for TikTok, by the way. And I use the other blender, not the Vitamix. And the other one is one of those where it has several different cups, like with different sizes. And then there's a screw-on lid that has a blade on one side, and the other side of it attaches to the machine part of the blender. So I put all the things for the dressing in the cup. I screw on the lid and I go to put it onto the base, and I just, something catches my eye. And I look back and I'm like, what is that? And then I swear I see movement. And then I look a little bit closer I look a little bit closer. There are maggots. There are like fucking thousands of maggots crawling out of the base thing of the fucking blender. I'm just speechless. Like, I scream, I back away from it, and I'm just staring at it for a good 5 minutes. Ozzy was like, hey, like, are you okay? And I'm staring at it like I've seen a fucking ghost. Like, I'm staring, like, he must have thought he's like, oh, she's full schizophrenic now. We've been waiting for the visions to start. No, she's in a full manic episode. Like, this bitch is not okay. Like, I mean, it looked like I was on drugs and like seeing things like those urban legends of people taking mushrooms and then thinking that they're a glass of orange juice that can't tip over. Have you heard that urban legend? Did someone tell you, oh, a friend of mine tried mushrooms one time and then he thought he was a glass of orange juice and now he's permanently stuck thinking he's a glass of orange juice and he's in a mental facility and that's why I don't do drugs. Yeah, that's not true. That's like a literal urban legend that someone made up. And for some reason, it's really made the rounds. There are such like nutty urban legends about drugs out there. It's like kind of wild. Anyway, neither here nor there. That's what it must have looked like to Ozzy. Like, I was just staring, freaked out, speechless, couldn't talk. So he's like, I'll deal with it. And he's like tapping. I mean, the maggots never stopped coming. Like, it was horrifying. I have no idea how the fuck they got in there. So I just threw away that part of it. I kept the cup and the machine and stuff because there's no evidence that there's maggots anywhere else. We did throw away that thing, despite Ozzy trying very hard for very long to get all the maggots out. God only knows how many fucking maggots are in that little shit. I am horrified. Like, there are what the fuck? Also, I have another question, just kind of like a sciencey question. Where do maggots come from? Like, do they, like, matter's never neither created nor destroyed. Like, what, like, how, like, are there maggot eggs? Like, what, like, does food turn, because when food gets old and spoils, it can get maggots, right? I've had another maggot incident before with mushrooms. Not today. I cannot talk about it today. I've dealt with enough. I really can't get into it today. But like, where do they come from? Like, the food just transforms into maggots? Is it like a chemical reaction? Is it, the glucose in the food plus enough oxygen over enough time equals maggots? Like, where do they come from? I just want to understand. Or are maggots just kind of everywhere and then they fester? I just don't understand the life cycle and the creation process of maggots. If someone could explain that to me, maybe I could ask ChatGPT, but not today because I feel like we did a lot of ChatGPT work last week, so not so much ChatGPT today. But yeah, so that was really traumatizing. And then I still really wanted the dressing. I really wanted to taste it. Like, I have this vision for a dressing and I want to make it for an upcoming Plush Kitchen episode. So I'm trying to test out this recipe and I was really excited to have it. So I pull out the Vitamix and I make it in there and then I pour it into a jar and I was looking at it and I was like, it's really gray for a dressing that should be yellow. Like, it's kind of shockingly gray, like just not a normal color. But I tasted it. It tasted kind of fine. And I ate it and it was yummy. So like, I literally ate it. I made a salad with it. But the whole time I was like, this doesn't feel right. There's something wrong about this. And I don't like it. Again, it tasted fine, but just something was setting off my spidey senses. So after I finished eating, only after I finished, like the fact that I didn't throw up today should be checked in on. So after I finish eating, I say to Ozzy, I was like, hey, I think we need to get rid of the Vitamix. And he said, why? And I said, I think there's something wrong. And he said, why? And I said, well, look at what color that Dijon dressing is. And it's gray. It's literally fucking gray. I don't know how else to say that. You know that gray sweater that I seem to live in this season? It was that fucking color. Like, it wasn't yellow. There's no other, well, I don't even know what the explanation is. And so he's like, well, are you sure? And so we decided to put some soy milk in the blender and blend it and see what happens with that. Just work with something white and see what happens. Not only did it turn gray, but the fumes that were coming out of that thing, it was repulsive. So we immediately threw that away. And I now have no fucking blender. And if you know anything about me, you know the blender is the hardest working appliance in this house. Quite frankly, the blender is the hardest working object, living or dead, in this house, other than maybe the fucking maggots. Those maggots, let me tell you, those little shits were moving around. They were dancing around. Like, I think those maggots have been in my food. They've been eating nice, healthy, energy generating mood. Those things had some fucking stamina. They were doing backflips. It was like Cirque du Soleil in that blender base. Anyway, I ordered a new blade for the backup blender because that's only $32 apparently, although shipping was $9.99, which we need to talk about, but that's neither here nor there. And so yeah, that'll come, and I'm sure I'll get a new Vitamix at some point, somehow, some way. But that's a bridge we will cross another day. Anyway, so I wanted to do this episode because I feel like this year was a big self-care year for me. It was a big year where I just changed so many things about my lifestyle. I started fucking washing my face kind of for the first time ever, at least consistently. I started doing skincare. I did so many home decluttering and reorganization projects. I came up with new morning and evening routines. I mean, in so many ways, I would say I up-leveled my personal care this year. And really that's because, to be fully honest and transparent, it's because historically I've had a really bad depression, and last year it was the worst it's ever been. And this year was the first time of my adult life where I consistently didn't have depression. So I just suddenly had way more energy and was able to just do things that I never did before. And I looked around and I was like, wow, I am living like a filthy, vile animal, and no more. Like, we're going to start living better. So I wanted to share a few of the things that I learned about and started implementing this year that have really, really helped contribute to me just feeling better about myself and showing up so much more confidently and energetically in the world. So let me get out my little journal. Okay, and these are in no particular order, by the way. So number one is gua sha and face lymphatic drainage. So I actually did Sculptra earlier this year, which, if you don't know, go back to my episode with my dermatologist, Sam. Sam, her last name starts with a B. I don't know. Sam B. It's a long last name. It's very Hiva coded, some might say. And we talked all about various facial treatments. And so Sculptra, my understanding of it, although I don't fucking remember, is they inject something into your skin, and it takes a while. It's not one of those things where you see immediate results, but it helps, I guess, your skin regenerate its own something or another. I don't know. And honestly, I don't even really know if I see results from it. So, and it is really expensive. So I actually don't know if I would recommend it. It's just hard to say, you know, because especially with something that takes a while to take effect. Like, I remember one time I got a laser treatment. I've had a couple laser treatments. I don't think I will ever do another one because they're really expensive. And I like to be able to see my results. And if I can't really see and perceive my results, then I'm just going to be skeptical of it. And I remember saying it, this was the different dermatologist, by the way, it was a couple years ago. And I remember saying to her, I was like, yeah, I don't know that I want to do a laser ever again, because I feel like that laser was so expensive and I didn't even notice the difference. And she said, well, the thing is, had you not done that laser, your face would be more saggy now than it is, or yeah, whatever, you get where I'm going with this. And that's kind of it's like hard to argue with that, you know what I mean? It's like hard, it's like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of a genius pitch. So anyway, as far as Sculptra goes, like, I don't really know if I see results, but that's not what this is about. I just want to tell you about how I started doing gua sha. So when I got the Sculptra, Sam, my dermatologist, she said, now for 5 days or so, I think, after the sculpture, you have to gua sha your face. And I was like, bitch, I don't own a fucking gua sha. Like, do I look like someone who owns a gua sha? I barely own soap. And she was like, just fucking buy one. Like, why are you being so difficult about this? So I finally fucking bought one, and I started to really love it. Like, I didn't do it before because before it just struck me as one of those things. Like, it just sounds so superficial. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to drag this thing across my face and I'm going to look better. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But when I started doing it, I realized, no, it really does make a difference. Now, I'm not saying it makes a difference in the way of like, it's not going to look like you got a fucking facelift. Actually, I just saw this influencer today who is someone who I think embodies a lot of the things that I talk shit about. I actually really love her presence on social media, and I love looking at her stories, and she just has great energy and stuff. But she is someone who, in my opinion, does and says a lot of things wrong on social media. Like, she's always trying to push the way that she eats is the right way to eat, and the way that she eats is kind of radical and not normal. She talks a lot about things that I genuinely believe are absolute bullshit and are not rooted in science, like food combining. And she posted like a clip of herself doing gua sha, and she's like, look at my instant facelift. And it's like, okay, it's not an instant facelift. That's the problem. I think that's the problem, quite frankly, with a lot of holistic and alternative medicine science type things. It's that we're trying to sell them as something that they're not. Like, it's no, gua sha is not a facelift. Do you know what a facelift is? I actually don't entirely know what it is. Actually, if you know, could you tell me? I mean, my understanding is they make an incision and they fucking like pull the skin or some shit, right? Like, gua sha isn't gonna do that. Like, let's stop. Or I remember there was this face cream that my friend sent me a while ago, and she's like, yeah, it's like, it's supposed to be like Botox. And I'm like, Botox paralyzes the muscle. I don't think the face cream is gonna do that. Like, but yeah, Botox can reduce the appearance of fine lines, but not because it's doing something topically or even moisturizing the skin. It's going into the muscle and making it cease to move. Like, no fucking face cream is going to do that, nor should it. That would be terrifying if a face cream had the ability to do that. So yeah, I'm not saying gua sha is this like, what's that word? Oh, here's another word. I don't know how to, it's like pansea. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Why do I do this to myself week after week? I could just use words that I know how to pronounce and not fucking embarrass myself. I'm looking it up. But you know, it means a cure-all. I think panacea. Yeah, panacea. That's what the word is. See, again, I have a twofold problem. My first fold, if you will, which, why does that just remind me of a vagina? My first fold is that I don't know how to pronounce words, even if they're right in front of me. But the second fold is I'm not even sure what fucking letters are in these words, because remember how I was saying I can be very lackadaisical and very airy? It's the Gemini moon, you know, nutty. I will see a word and just not even fully register all the letters that are in it and move the fuck on. Okay, anyway, so I've been obsessed with doing gua sha and facial lymphatic drainage on myself, and quite frankly, even manual lymphatic drainage on myself. I really see such results. I actually haven't really gua sha'd in a while, and I feel like I can see it in my face. It's really sagging. Maybe it's time for me to get a laser treatment. No, but it really is kind of sagging. And it just, I feel like it even makes my complexion feel brighter. I really like this one gua sha from Kitsch, you know, that brand Kitsch. It's a stainless steel one, and I like it because A, it doesn't break. I've broken several gua shas now. B, because it's stainless steel, I actually think it's a little bit more germ resistant. And C, it has a really thin ledge, and it just, it feels so good. I also love to massage the back of my neck with the gua sha. Like, not only does it depuff you and just brighten everything up, but it fucking feels good. And who doesn't want to do shit that feels good? Okay, moving right along to number 2. So number two, I wrote the magic of tidying and decluttering. But in all seriousness, it is fucking magic. As soon as I came back from Australia at the beginning of this year in January, I started going on these decluttering projects where I'd go one room at a time, one section at a time, one drawer at a time. And quite frankly, I'm still not done. There's most notably the laundry room I have to do. I've never done that. And then this room needs a redo. And then I want to go on a crazy minimalist journey next year where I just want to get rid of half of my belongings. Just like however it is, I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't want to get too precious with it and get too stuck in it. Just fucking get rid of shit. That's my plan. Anyway, so I started going on these decluttering and reorganizing projects, but also this year I started cleaning a lot more. Like I started coming up with new systems. Like for example, I got one of those over the sink drying racks that are foldable. So we don't use a dishwasher. We have one. But a lot of the dishes that we own, the vast majority really aren't dishwasher safe. They're kind of okay, but you really shouldn't put them in the dishwasher. And then most everything else we use also isn't dishwasher safe. So it just very few things would go into the dishwasher. So we just hand wash dishes. But what I used to do is either wait till the morning and then wash the dishes in the morning. Or I would then, when I started to get a little bit better, or really Ozzy started doing them, he would wash them at night and then we'd leave them out to dry and then put them away in the morning. But something I started doing this year is I got one of those over the sink drying racks and a fan. And so I do the dishes in the evening. I put the fan on. That helps them get 90% dry, if not 100% dry, depending on how long the fan is on. And then I towel dry the rest. I put them away. I wipe down the counters and I walk out to a kitchen that is pristine. Nothing on the counters. Everything's, in its place. Everything's beautiful and bright and whatever. Same thing. I just am keeping things cleaner and tidier and just staying on top of things better. Again, am I being perfect with it? No, but it has such a tremendous effect on my mental health. And again, I'm going to go so fucking hard. Like because the part of the reason why it's so hard to keep things organized, to maintain the decluttering and reorganization projects is because there's just too much stuff. And so that becomes an issue. But if I get rid of more stuff, I think it'll become so much more manageable. Okay, number 3. Ooh, okay, this is a big one. And I know I've talked about it before, but it's really important to me. The Wherever Walnut Lip Pencil by Makeup Forever. I think it's called Makeup Forever is the brand. If you just look up Wherever Walnut Lip Pencil, you'll find it. I like the regular one, not the long stay one. The regular one is you can sharpen it like with a pencil sharpener, whereas the long stay one is one of those where you have to twist out. And I find that it only twists out for like 2 minutes and then it stops. And so you get a lot more lip pencil out of the pencil one. Listen, I am someone who really doesn't wear a lot of makeup, and like I said, I just have not been a very put together person at all throughout my life. A lot of that is depression. A lot of that also is because I think in my 20s, I guess when I was 22 or so, I developed a crush on this guy, and I changed a lot of my personality and who I am to try to be this like cooler, chiller version. I started going to jam bands, and I started, I became really into fish, not the seafood. I mean, the band PH Fish. And I don't know. I started pretending I was super into sports and pretending I didn't watch Bravo. Like I only watched 2 Bravo shows, to be clear. So it's not like right now where I watch everything they put out pretty much. But back then I only watched 2 Bravo shows. But the way I hid the fact that I watched those two Bravo shows like it was a fucking state secret. I used to DVR them. This was back when people had cable. How nuts is that? I used to DVR it in my bedroom and literally hide it. Like there was a hidden folder so that no one would see. I wouldn't even record it on the living room TV because I was scared someone would go through my DVR and see, because it went against this image that I was trying to portray of myself as this like cool ass chick who's just one of the guys, and everything about her is effortless. And I don't know why I thought putting in effort like negated things. I mean, this is a big theme in my life, which I could unpack in a different episode. But anyway, I definitely wasn't wearing a lot of makeup. I certainly wasn't on top of makeup trends, and just really, I actually call my 20s my lost years because I had a really bad eating disorder. I basically pretended I only cared about fish and football, and I was just deeply into this pick me girl phase of my life where I wanted to be one of the guys, and I was so disconnected from everything going on in the world. I call it my lost years because if you bring up something that happened during that decade of my life, I probably won't know about it. Just like anything in pop culture, I probably don't know about it. And I almost kind of prided myself on being like, oh yeah, I don't know what's, not almost, I literally prided myself on being like, oh yeah, I'm so out of touch with pop culture. Like, and now I'm like, what a fucking loser. Like, you know what I mean? Not that I'm saying everyone has to be in touch with pop culture, but what I am saying is just be yourself. Like there's nothing, it's okay to be basic. It's okay to like mainstream things. It's okay to like things that are popular. I was always such a contrarian, and I just wanted to go against what was popular because I thought that would make me more elevated. Like I thought that made me special in a way, but it just made me a big fat loser. That's all it did. Anyway, so the Wherever Walnut lip pencil is not like, this isn't a sleeper pick. Like this isn't something you haven't heard of. Everyone fucking uses it, and for good reason. I don't know why, but it's the perfect fucking lip pencil. The shade, I'm yet to find someone who it doesn't look good on, and it has a really sharp tip, and it makes it really easy to get like a nice line. Now there are other lip pencils that I like. Notably, I actually really like the Road ones, and those are almost like a crayon. So what I really like to do if I'm properly doing my lips, which I don't do most days, but if I were to properly do my lips, is I'll do a little overlining on my Cupid's bow area, just like the very center part of my top lip, and also a little overlining on the bottom using the Wherever Walnut, but I do not overline these outside bits, and I'll connect, and then I'll put a little bit of a Road lip pencil on the inside, but I shade in with the Wherever Walnut a little bit. It's so fucking good. And while we're on lip products, another one that's really hyped and so fucking worth the hype is the Summer Fridays lip balm. That shit is so fucking good. I haven't tried all the colors. I'm really partial to, I think it's called Vanilla Beige or something like that. I really like that one. It's kind of a perfect nude color. I actually used to shy away from nude lips in general. Okay, this is actually going to be a really good illustration of this story. So I used to love a nude lip. And then I used to watch the show called The League. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was on FX, and it was about a group of guys and the wife of one of the guys who were in a fantasy football league together. It's actually a really funny show, although I did kind of stop watching it towards the end because the humor got too bathroom humor for me. And this is someone who talks about poo a lot. So, I don't love toilet humor though. I'll talk about how I can't poo all the time, but I don't love toilet humor. Anyway, so in just one episode of The League, the guys were talking about how some girls wear lipsticks that look like it could be their buttholes and how that's really gross. And ever since then, I'm like, ooh, if I'm ever doing a lip product, it's got to be like fucking red. Like it's got to have a lot of red in it so I can't be confused with my butthole. Like, what the fuck? And this is because one guy in one episode of one show made a comment about it. And I decide to change all of my interests and personality. And now I do nude lips again. And I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Ooh, okay. Aloe juice for skin. This is actually one I discovered kind of by accident this year, and not even that long ago. Like I feel like it was just a few months ago. So I was having a day where I was really bloated or something, and I happened to have some aloe juice, and I kind of poured a little into a cup, and I really enjoyed the taste. And then I kept pouring more and drinking more and pouring more and drinking more. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on with my skin? Like, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. It was like I swallowed a light bulb that was on. Like, I was glowing in a way I've never seen before. Like, my skin was so plump and firm and bright. It was crazy. Ever since then, I kind of swear by it. I don't do it all the time. And here's the thing. I don't think you're supposed to do it. The aloe juice bottle literally says that you should only have like 2 ounces of it or something. But I do buy one that has the inner leaf removed, so it doesn't have the habit forming laxative part of it. And here's the thing, it's never made me poo at all. Like, it's literally never helped me poo at all. So I just have a hard time imagining how it could possibly give someone diarrhea. I fucking swear by it. But I do think the bigger thing is just staying insanely hydrated does so much for your skin. Like, it'll make you glow so fucking hard. Okay, number 5. Okay, something I developed, invented, whatever this year are my little soy milk cloud coconut water drinks, whether I do a coffee version of it or a matcha version of it. You know, it took a I was going to say it took a while for me to develop this recipe. No, I think there were a few iterations of it until I got there, but it's so good. It always helps me poo, largely because of the coconut water. And then the soy milk is so creamy and yummy, but it also has a bunch of protein. So that's great. But more broadly, this year, I really got into caffeine and coffee culture, and I haven't in the past. It's just one of the many ways where I feel like this year is the first year I'm kind of alive. Like, there were so many ways in which I always felt different from other people, but now that I look back on it, I'm the one who was emphasizing and wedging these differences. And one of them was by not consuming caffeine. And it was kind of a point of pride for me. Like, oh my God, like, I work out and I do all this stuff and I don't even drink coffee. Like, no, you drink coffee? Oh, that's great for you. I mean, that's great for you. I hear coffee's so yummy, but I just like don't need it. Like, I just have so much natural, abundant energy. And then I started drinking caffeine this year and I was like, this is what life's all about. I get why people have been doing it. Like, it's so fucking fun and it's so nice to treat yourself to like a good drink in the mornings. And what I love about making this is, again, I get a good amount of protein. I get a crazy amount of electrolytes and potassium and stuff. I mean, potassium is an electrolyte from the coconut water. Like, and it's kind of almost like a balanced meal, if you will. I mean, it's not a literal meal because I'm not chewing and stuff, but it is almost like a meal replacement drink because it is heavy-ish enough depending on how much you have of it. And it tastes so fucking good. And I feel like I'm a part of things again. Like, I feel like I'm a part of society. Like, when people talk about coffee, I can chime in on that conversation. And I'm not perpetuating this bullshit holier than thou. Oh, I don't even need caffeine. Loser. I was a fucking loser before. Okay. Again, I'm not saying everyone has to drink caffeine, but the reason I'm coming down on it so much is because I was just constantly finding these ways to create a wedge between myself and other people and to just not be a part of things. But there is a reason why things are popular. It's usually because they're good. I was going to say that brings me to the last one, but no, I don't think this is the last one. This is the second to last one, which is glycolic acid. So I actually learned this from a TikTok. I bought a glycolic acid toner. I have the one by The Ordinary. I know I've talked about it before on the podcast, but it's worth repeating because it really is one of the best things I started doing this year. So I use it after I shower. I actually don't use it on my face at all. I do have another toner or something that has glycolic acid in it for the face, but this, I just put it on a cotton pad, and I don't do this every day. In the beginning, I did it every day, and now I only need to do it once or twice a week. I'll wipe down my armpits with it, and then sometimes I'll wipe down other places, like behind my ears and my heels. Sometimes just once in a while, I'll do the butthole a little bit, you know? Anyway, ever since I started doing this, no body odor. I never wear deodorant anymore. No body odor. I don't know what the fuck it is. I have no idea. But when I tell you I smell better doing this and not wearing deodorant than I ever did wearing deodorant, whether that was a clean deodorant or like a full chemically loaded, like will give you cancer kind of deodorant. And also I'm joking, like I don't think deodorant's going to give you cancer, but I do think it's one that's probably a better product to buy clean. Anyway, that issue's gone. Because I don't fucking need deodorant anymore because of the fucking glycolic acid. That shit is magic. I don't know what it does. I mean, I had heard this before that sweat shouldn't smell bad. It's the bacteria on the skin that makes sweat smell bad. But no amount of me washing would ever fix that. Whereas I think the glycolic acid just gets you cleaner in a way. I'm not entirely sure. I don't get the science of it, but whatever. And that brings us to the last one. Ooh, okay, fun. So the last one is a short one, and that's A&D cream or A&D ointment for lip issues. Now, I feel like I've told you all about the various types of lip issues I kept getting. The only thing that's truly, truly cured it is A&D cream. I swear, I think everyone should have at least one tube of A&D cream at home and use it as a lip mask. Your lips will be so much plumper. And if you ever get irritation around your lips, gone. You'll never have a fucking chapped lip again in your fucking life. It is so fucking good. Okay. Now that I've said the 7, I do want to kind of touch on something deeper, which I've been talking about all episode, but I want to emphasize it again. Let me see how I wrote this, because maybe okay, I wrote, but the biggest lesson, you are worthy of taking time for yourself. You deserve the best version of things. It's not vain or frivolous to take time for yourself. Like I said before, in these various iterations of my life, even a few years ago, right, when I first started to get more into new age spirituality and wellness and things like that, I really tried to be like, oh, I don't even care about clothes. Like, I don't wear makeup. Like, I'm too crunchy for that. I'm too this, I'm too that. Like, ooh, skincare over makeup and blah, blah. And again, I still don't do a lot of these things, but if I'm really unpacking it, it's a lot of my own internalized misogyny that was going on there. It's like I thought it was frivolous and vain and girly and stupid. And I say girly because in my mind, girly was a negative thing back then, to care about your skincare and to have a multiple step skincare routine and to put on makeup and to care about your clothes and to just be uppity about things. Like I always wanted to be that cool, effortless girl. And this year I just started to embrace the basic bitch that I actually am. And it feels so good. And it makes me feel like I'm a person, which is a weird thing to say. But I think if I'm being really honest with myself, before I didn't really feel like I was a person. Like I felt like I was a visitor on this planet observing everyone else live, but I wasn't a part of that world. I wasn't a part of that life. It was like I was watching it on TV. But this year I feel like I'm a part of things. And I think taking care of myself has been this signal to my brain that I'm worthy of being here. I'm worthy of taking care of myself. I'm worthy of the things that I want in my life. I'm worthy of having friends. I'm worthy of having good relationships. I'm worthy of having a good career. I'm worthy of living in a home that I actually enjoy. I'm worthy of feeling good about myself. And it sounds stupid to say, oh, gua shaing my face got me there, but I really think gua shaing my face got me there. Like, I actually do. Is that crazy? I really do. I think that, yeah, okay, that's it. That's it. I don't think it can get better than this. So let's just end it here. We'll chat next week. Yeah. Love ya. If you loved that episode as much as I hope you did, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and check out some past episodes while you wait for the new one to drop next week. And until next week, make sure to stay cunty out there.